Hi, my name is Krystal and I am the founder of WorkSource. And today I am here answering the questions that you guys posted into the Facebook group um, about marketing. And I'm here with Abigail from the Digital Marketing Mentor, who is the Digital Marketing Mentor, who is actually one of our freelancers from our platform. So Gail has loads of experience and has volunteered to help you guys out and answering the questions. So welcome, Abigail.
Thank you.
So just quickly before we go on, I run, as Abigail knows, I run a freelance job platform that specializes in the health and wellness industry. It's something I started because I struggled to find a freelancer for my business and wanted to simplify the process. So here we are. I've started a way for businesses to be able to find experienced, pre-vetted freelancers. So, okay. So jumping into it, Abigail, can you tell us a little bit about you, about what you do, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the digital marketing mentor. I have been in digital marketing for about 17 or 18 years now. I look young, but no, I've been in the industry for about 18 years. And I worked my way up through in the corporate world all the way up to digital marketing director, and then escaped corporate in 2020 and set up the digital marketing mentor because whilst I love marketing, one thing I love more than marketing is teaching other people how to market. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of overwhelming information out there that is conflicts with each other. And it's really hard to fight through the white noise of what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. And after many years of kind of teaching graduates and training teams, and I just decided that I just want to focus on that. I want to focus on empowering business owners to make informed marketing decisions that actually equate to growth in their business. And yeah, I love it. So I kind of offer coaching packages, and I sit with my clients and walk them through, not just kind of tell them what to do, but teach them what to do. It's that kind of old adage of give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, teach a man to fish and he'll feed his family for a lifetime. So in a nutshell, that's it. And one of those focuses, actually, sorry to expand on that, is omni-channel marketing strategies. I help you create omni-channel strategies that bring in all the relevant channels to create like a seamless customer journey, rather than just teach you how to use Instagram or teach you how to use Facebook, because the marketing world expands beyond that, and a lot of people underutilize their resources.
So you're talking getting essentially all of the different areas. So whether it be emails, whether it be LinkedIn, Instagram, getting them to all essentially work together to market as a team.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And create a seamless experience for your customer as well, with consistency and multiple touch points. We know that clients need, especially if you've got high ticket offers, we know that they need anywhere between like 7 to 30 touch points. And if you're just trying to touch them on Instagram, or you're just trying to touch them on LinkedIn, you're really kind of boxing yourself in and putting a lot of pressure on one platform to give you those opportunities. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, talking about converting and leading into that. So the questions, I posed a couple of different questions or different areas essentially that within the marketing world, marketing realm. The clear winner was lead generation and conversion. So that's what I want to go through today. I want to go through 3 different questions that reach different areas of that lead generation and conversion. And I'd love if you could give us some real takeaway, actionable points within each of those sections that can kind of help us on our way to marketing. And then, if we need, because I mean, a lot of us, like me, we can only take our marketing so far, and then we need help from
Yeah.
people like you. So we'll dive straight in. So number one was the top 3 strategies for generating high quality leads.
Okay. I don't think there's such a thing as top 3 strategies. Like,
Okay.
if I was to sit here and rattle off, you should do this for lead gen, you should do that for lead gen, it's only going to be relevant to some of the people watching this video. There's no one size fits all. It's more what's working for your business, finding what's working for your business, and then optimizing and scaling that. So rather than kind of like the top 3 strategies for lead gen, what I would say is, I would say there are very important tips that I can give to help you execute whatever strategies work best for your business. And
Okay, excellent.
the first one would be to really, really, really know your audience. So when I speak to potential clients, I say, who are you targeting? And some of them might say, oh, I'm targeting women between the ages of 18 and 50 who want a PT, for example. They need a personal trainer. And I'm like, okay, but so what do you know about your audience? And they haven't really delved into the psychographic information of their audience. And that's not just about kind of knowing what their audience likes to watch on TV, or it's really, really getting into the nitty gritty of, why does that person need to lose weight or want to lose weight? Because we often in
And
marketing,
why they want a personal trainer as opposed to a gym.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And we often see marketing kind of it goes for the band-aid fix rather than the root cause. And if you can tap into what the root cause is of whatever it is that your audience wants that you provide a solution for, then you can create really, really tailored messaging that's going to resonate with them instantly on a much, much deeper level than just, hey, are you a woman in your 20s trying to lose weight? It's not really scroll stopping. So the more you can delve into your audience and get to know your audience, the more you can do or perfect what would be my second tip, which is messaging that is tailored to each stage of your customer's journey. And this is another problem, another very common mistake that I see people make, in that, you will go straight to an offer. So you'll go out there and go, hey, I'm a PT, I can do this for you. But they don't know you. They don't trust you.
Yeah.
They don't like you yet. Some of these people might need a PT or want a PT for particularly vulnerable reasons. And there has to be that personal connection. And with
That's
that,
like asking someone to marry you on the first date. Is that, I hear that analogy.
Just going to use that analogy. Yeah, that's one of my favorite analogies. So it's like being on Tinder or Bumble or whatever the kids are using these days and matching with someone, and they're instantly asking you for, they're proposing. You're like, whoa, buddy, slow down. Like, we are not there yet.
I don't even know what you drink.
Yeah. So you need to warm them up. And there's a journey and there's stages of the funnel that you need to take them through. And the messaging at each stage of that funnel is going to be completely different, because their mindset, psyche at each stage of that funnel is completely different. So you need to think about what kind of messaging you can create at top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. And each of those stages of the funnel has a different function. So top of funnel, you've got to attract their interest, bring them in, draw them in. Middle of funnel, you've really got to connect and engage with them. So if we're thinking back to the dating analogy, top of funnel is going to be, swiping right and starting that conversation. Middle of funnel is maybe like, okay, I trust you a little bit more. We're going to swap numbers and maybe start to text, might agree to a date with you. And then bottom funnel, which is your conversion stage, is going to be like, okay, we've been on a few dates now. We're vibing. I'm taking what you're putting down. Let's be in a relationship kind of thing. So that's where
Yeah.
your
Okay.
convergence come and they go, yeah, I trust you enough. We've built up enough of a rapport for me to want to work with you now. So
Yeah. Okay.
tailoring
I
your
love that we're
message.
using Tinder, by the way.
I know. Oh, stay relevant, you know.
It helps make it helps really clear though by what what you're meaning in the funnel. When you put it like that, it makes 100% sense of, you can't just meet someone on Tinder and then go, let's get married and have 100 babies. It doesn't
I'm
work
not just
like
a
that.
marketing
So,
coach, I'm a
yeah.
dating coach too.
Yes. We'll put your
Sorry,
email at the end.
yeah. I can help you with your revenue or your love life.
Yeah.
But no, it does make sense, and it's a really good analogy, and I think that's why it's the popular one because it just instantly kind of clicks
Yeah.
for people. But it
Yeah,
really does. It ties back to that first tip of know your audience, because you cannot tailor that messaging as effectively if you do not know what they want or need to hear.
Yeah.
So those are my
Makes sense.
first two tips. My
Mhm.
second tip, my third tip, sorry, would be that engagement is a two-way street. If you want to
Okay, what do you
attract
mean?
high quality leads, you cannot just sit there and wait for them to come to you. Not always. If you've put in the hard yards and you've built this amazing brand like Coca-Cola or Nike, then yeah, absolutely you can sit and wait for the leads to come to you. But
Yeah.
until you're at that stage, you have to be engaging back. There has to be outward engagement. And
Yeah.
you have to be creating connections and having conversations. And I'm
Mhm.
speaking specifically to social media now, but a
Yeah.
lot of people have forgotten about the social part of social media. And they sit there and they go, oh, yay, my post got 17 comments, but you haven't replied to any. You haven't commented on anyone else's posts out there. You haven't,
Yeah.
you've not capitalized on DMs. You're just sitting there and kind of reveling in the excitement and
Mhm.
and celebrating the fact that you've got comments, but there's nothing outward. And eventually
So there's
that
no
will dry up.
nurturing.
There's no nurturing, there's no connection, there's no social side. And I think marketing has seen a shift, especially since 2020. It's really seen a shift to people need connection. People want connection. They need to connect with you to be able to have or to have any interest in what you're trying to
Mm.
sell them.
It's pretty
Relationships
cool.
is everything.
Yeah.
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 Because it's all based on trust. And trust is such a high ranking factor in everything, not just from a people perspective, but from an algorithm perspective too. And we're going, I could talk for hours about that, but trust is a huge ranking signal for the algorithms and for people. So there
Mm.
has to be outbound engagement. You cannot just sit there and expect people to come to you if you aren't
Yeah.
creating and starting those conversations.
So replying back to all of the DMs that you get, replying back to all of the comments that you get across all of your socials, and also responding to or commenting on other people's
Yeah.
posts
Yeah.
is
And
is
proactively, and not just any posts. It has to be posts that are relevant. So, you know, go to people in and I'm not saying like go and steal their clients, but go to people in your industry that maybe aren't in direct competition with you, maybe people that complement the services that you offer.
Mhm.
So if you're a chiropractor, for example, you could go and look at like physiotherapists and,
Yeah.
just kind of actively, authentically engage with their posts. And then, you're not just creating connections with your potential audience, but you're also creating connections with people that could be referral partners or
So great networking. Yep.
collaborators. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there has to be that proactive outward engagement, I think, for effective lead gen.
Yeah, I love that. And I see, I follow and listen to a lot of Gary V's information. I love Gary V. I think he's amazing. But even he says that same thing. And he said, even today, so, worth millions and millions and millions, he still interacts with people on his posts. He still interacts with people he sees while he's sitting at the airport waiting. So, for the plane. So even somebody like that who doesn't doesn't need to do that anymore. Still organically just communicates and networks with
Yeah.
different people, which is
Yeah.
good. And yeah, it's definitely something I think a lot of us need to do. Um, okay. Now, next one I've got is how to convert leads into paying customers. So we've taken them through the funnel, everything's going great. Now what do we do?
I think those 3 tips that we've talked about before are still relevant here because
Yep.
that's going to dictate or lead what, what you're offering them, when you're offering them, and whatnot. But as an extension to that, I would say if you want to be increasing or improving your conversion rate, make sure that you are fully utilizing email marketing. I think email marketing is very underutilized. People are wiser to it now, for sure, but it's still a very underutilized conversion tool. So the ROI, I think the last time I looked, and it might have changed, but the last time I looked, the ROI on email marketing was that for every $1 you invest, you make $35 back.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
it's brilliant. And the reason email is so powerful as a conversion tool is because these people are they're at that stage of your funnel where they're primed, they know you, they've trusted you with their information, they've given you permission to contact them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're ready for whatever it is that you have to offer.
Yeah.
They're at that
Yeah.
stage. And I think a lot of
You've
people
already been on a
now,
date. They're in
yeah,
there. You've
you're on
already
a
been on a
date.
date. Yeah.
You've been on a few dates now. You've had a sneaky patch in the car park. Like, you know, they're ready to commit, but they need you to ask. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people feel icky about asking for the sale, and even more so on email. And there'll be a lot of people that turn around and go, email's not effective anymore because you get hundreds of emails a day and they don't stand out. There's ways to make them stand out. So, and you're
Yeah.
never going to find out what those ways are until you start testing and optimizing and sending emails. So emails are a great conversion tool because they reach the audience, especially if you're using things like segmentation. They're reaching
Yeah.
your audience at the right time with the right message, which is really, really important. Um, the second thing I would say is a really good kind of conversion tool, your DMs. Don't sleep on your DMs. If someone comments on your post, you can reply publicly, but send them a message, or if they're constantly interacting with your story, send them a message, start the conversation, ask them where they're at, what they're interested in, have these conversations with you. And because you've made the effort to reach out, when they are ready,
Yeah.
you'll be front of mind. You've got that trust between you. And further to that, don't just send written messages, send voice notes, because then they can hear inflections in your voice. They can hear
Oh,
the
yeah.
passion in your voice. They can hear how interested you are, rather than just kind of getting a message. Like, a lot of us can't really, unless you're a skilled copywriter, you can't really effectively convey your emotions and your excitement and your, interest via written words. So send a DM. You'll know very well, Krystal, I always send voice notes,
Yeah.
because I feel like it's more of a personal connection. And then,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
as an extension of that, automation. But I'm going to caveat that with not too much, because you want to find a sweet spot between automation and still maintaining those personal connections. But bring automation into your DM interactions, and you can do that by things like with things like ManyChat. Okay, so you
Okay.
can create flows that, if they react to a certain story in a certain way, or create automations that if they comment on a post, a particular word, you can send them a
Yeah.
message that starts a conversation for you. Because you might be sitting there thinking, right, so on top of everything else, I've now got to send DMs to people. Okay, well,
Yes. Yes.
utilize automation, and then when it's appropriate, you take over. When you've
Yes.
primed and primed and primed your conversation, where you need to now bring the human element in. So use automations to a point, and then bring the human in. And I think those three tools are underutilized as conversion strategies for sure.
I
Because
love
those
it.
tools,
Yes. Love it. And I see a lot of the many chat, the automated messages, and some are absolutely brilliant. They're written brilliant, and you're actually second guessing whether you're
yeah,
speaking to them or whether you're actually speaking to the robot, because they are really, really good. So you done right, I think you can definitely achieve a lot, and it's great time saving tools that we're mentioning.
yeah. If you're really, really fancy and you really kind of are, you have the resources to either outsource or you know how to do it, you can connect those automations to your CRMs. So you're now
Mm, mm.
in real time updating your leads in your CRMs to know, okay, they've said yes to this. So now I'm putting them in this, I'm moving them down the funnel. And
Yes.
you can use it to kind of keep track of where
So you
like even
segment them
though,
as well.
yeah,
Okay, our last one is, how do we utilize customer feedback to improve some of the conversion rate? Is there any good ways to do that?
um I think customer feedback is market research. So you're going to be able to use, you know, um, things like reviews, things like maybe, uh, for example, I survey my clients in the middle of their package and at the end.
Hmm.
So I kind of don't just know how they're doing at the end. I know how they're feeling throughout as well.
Okay.
And I've been known to make tweaks along the way with them individually. If there's something that's coming up for them that they're not quite happy with or that they are enjoying, we can keep going with that. So I think customer feedback is market research.
Mhm.
However, I will make the point that if you get one customer that's coming to you and saying, "Oh, um, I didn't like the fact that you emailed me so much," and
Yep.
you can't then just kind of go, "Okay, right, I've got to stop emailing people as much." It's one person out of however many, so you've got to kind of find the sweet spot between taking on board what they're saying, but recognizing that at this point there's only one person saying, so you can't
Right.
alter
I,
your entire
yeah.
strategy just to fit that one person. So you've got to make strategic decisions around, okay, is what this person's saying um something that I actually need to change, or do I need to just kind of see how it tracks? Because I think it's really natural to kind of go, oh, this person wasn't happy. Let's throw that out the window.
Yeah.
Because
Overhaul everything. Yes.
yeah, you have those jerk reactions, but when we think about it as data, you wouldn't look at that one data point and go, yep, scrap everything. You've got to have consistent
Yeah.
data showing the same thing. So I think,
That is so important, isn't it? I hadn't really thought of that before, but I think we do that. We do go, oh my goodness, they didn't like the length of the course, or yeah,
yeah,
like I said, that they didn't like
because in that
another them.
moment,
So stop them.
we've got to cater to this person's needs.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure that they're happy. But what if they're just
You
unhappy
can't
because
be
that's just
something
what
for
we're trying to
everybody.
give to them? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Some
exactly.
people are
Like, for example,
just not going to like it.
I'm in a coaching cohort at the moment. So business coaches need business coaches too. And I don't like how I've done two cohorts with this coach. I don't like how she's running this particular cohort. I preferred the structure of the first one that I did. But the other women in this cohort seem to be really enjoying it. So
Oh,
does
okay. Yeah.
should she change it just because it doesn't fit me and my needs and my preferences? Absolutely not. If it's working for her and working for the majority, then keep going, you know? And
Yes,
too
100%.
often we try to
Yeah.
fit for the one where we need to think
Yeah.
about how we're gonna appease the many.
Some of the business owners, so around the hours. So it might be, okay, well, on Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to work until 8 o'clock to cater for the people that need appointments those times. But then you'll have some of the other people go, oh, well, those days don't work for me. So I can only do a Friday. But you're the only one that can Fridays. So you can't then just change your timing schedule to fit in with that person. You need to go essentially with the majority, and not
Once you
everybody's.
start doing that,
Mm.
you're on a slippery slope to compromising on your boundaries at your demise.
Mm, yeah.
And you would
Yeah.
like to think that if you've created courses or products or services, you've done your research, and that product or course or service is based on what the majority want anyway. The only time you should be changing that is when the majority starts saying it's not working.
That's
anymore. Yeah.
so. Thank you so much, Abigail, for all those incredible tips, advice, suggestions that we can sort of take away. And, some of them we can make changes pretty much immediately, which is excellent. But for those of us that marketing is just not our thing, hey, that's me. Where can we find you? Tell us whereabouts we can find you, follow you, and have you got any awesome offers on at the moment?
Okay. So you can find me on Instagram. It's at the underscore digital underscore marketing underscore mentor. But I think what would probably be best is if we just link that in the caption for the video.
I
Because
like that
otherwise
idea.
it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, but yeah, you can find me on Instagram. You can email me at hello@digitalmarketingmentor.com.au. Website is pending. I'm redoing my website at the moment, so I don't have one available for people to kind of have a little look at, but hopefully soon. And in terms of offers, I am actually running an offer. It's from now until the 1st of July. However, because we're not sure I'm not sure quite when this week this is going to be going out, I'm going to extend that to the 8th of July for people in this group. And that is that you can save, 24% on my coaching packages at the moment. So from now until the 8th of July, close of business 8th of July, you can save 24% on my coaching packages. A little end of financial year sale, if you like. I offer 3, 6, and 10-pack coaching packages, and they are 1 hour long sessions. So 1-to-1, 1 hour long sessions that can be used at your leisure, really. Within there's certain terms and conditions depending on which pack you take, but and those sessions are tailored to the client. So I can follow a framework if that's required. If the client is kind of, really new into building their business and they are starting from scratch, we can follow a certain framework, or it can be completely reactive to whatever is happening for the particular client in their business at that time. So,
Okay. So if they're doing a new, a launch of a new product, or if they're opening a new, clinic or something like that, that's something and they want to really market that, that's something you can help with.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything from, like I say, I'm an omni-channel specialist. So anything from your social media to your email to your content, automation, optimization. I'm a bit of a weird hybrid of creative and geek. So I really do look at the data side. Advertising, if you're kind of sitting there banging your head against a brick wall with meta ads, then I would love to help you with that. I want to help people demystify marketing. So whether or not you continue to do it yourself in your business or you do outsource it, I want to give you the tools to be able to either do it or know that who you outsource it to is doing it right.
Yes. And I love that. I love that you sort of got both approaches there. You are catering for those of us that really want to get in and the crack and do it ourselves, but those that also want the knowledge to be able to outsource successfully and know the jargon, even knowing your, looking at the analytics and things like that, knowing how to read all of that data, and not kind of being bamboozled, I suppose, and tricked.
Yeah.
And that's my,
because I think there's a lot of people in this industry that kind of, they position themselves as experts and take advantage of small business owners like you and I. I said they don't get very far with me, but But they
No.
take advantage because we just not at the level of being able to have the conversation. So they send you a spreadsheet that makes it look like they're doing something. And,
Correct.
I want to empower small business owners to be able to have those conversations at a more kind of professional level and know that they are getting what they're paying for, because we're all very
Yes.
budget conscious at this stage of business. And we need to know that if we are outsourcing it, our money is being used correctly and effectively.
Absolutely. And this is the exact reason why we love having you on the platform, because you are genuine in your support and your help with small businesses. And a lot like us, the whole, we want to see people succeed. So helping them to be able to do that is what we're all about. So we love you for that. And I will put Abigail's link and everything down in the comments under the video. So you'll be able to go through, follow her on Instagram, reach out to her and have a chat. And if there's any questions that you have regarding the video, anything that you would like Abigail to, want to ask Abigail to potentially expand on, pop it down in the comments below. Abigail does have access to the group. She is one of the only freelancers that does. And this is why within the group, I will make sure that it does stay like this. So it's just only there to support you. I'm not going to bring in an overwhelm of freelancers that are just going to absolutely annoy you and try and sell you stuff. All of the freelancers that we have come in to give you help and advice, I'll open the doors to them. They'll come in and then they'll just sit in the background without harassing you. I still want this to be your space. This isn't a space for freelancers to come in and sell to you. It's a space for our freelancers from the worksource to come in and give you some really great tips, advice. And if you'd like to reach out to them, you can. Thank you so much, Abigail. It has been amazing having you here, and we'll talk to you again soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.